Hey guys, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride, and today I'm talking about how I see veganism as a minimalist approach to food. Don't mind Yoda, she seems to be slightly fascinated by the candle, and Chewy is making noise over there in the corner, so great. Chewy, can you not climb in that stuff right this second, please? Okay, with that figured out. So as some of you might be aware, I came to minimalism through being a vegan. So I've been a vegan for about 4 years now, and through becoming a vegan, I became a lot more environmentally conscious, more conscious of sustainability, and that led me into the world of minimalism. Veganism also allowed me to be a lot more conscious about the choices I make, of course, but also in my day-to-day life. It allowed me to be more present. And all of those things kind of came together to cause a yearning in me for minimalism. So I didn't come to veganism through being a minimalist, it was the other way around. But part of the reason why I found minimalism to be such an attractive thing is that I was already practicing minimalism in my diet by being a vegan. So I've had a couple people ask me how veganism and minimalism intersect, and I thought it would be kind of a fun video to do. So for me, a vegan diet is really the most minimalist diet you could get. It's so simple because really it's just eating plants. And what's more simple than that? When you go further, it has a lot of different aspects that most minimalists appreciate. It's more sustainable and eco-friendly. It's more conscious and compassionate to other beings, just like many minimalists try to buy less, not just for the environment, but also for the impacts that this consumer culture has on other people. And in that way, veganism really fits into the same kind of mindset, which I think is why you see a lot of vegans who are also minimalists and minimalists who go vegan. So not only is the idea of just eating plants a very minimal idea, but there's all these other aspects to it. So when you eat plants, you're eating from the bottom of the food chain. It's very minimal and eco-friendly. You're cutting out the middlemen and you're eating the most energy dense source of calories. You're eating those plants, you're not filtering them through an animal, which is reducing the amount of available calories, meaning that you can feed yourself on less land. Many minimalists want to move into a small space, to live in less space, they want to use less resources, and vegans use far less resources than someone who is eating a vegetarian or an omnivorous diet. Vegans use only 1/18 of the amount of land that's used to feed omnivores every year. So that's a really minimalist approach. Another thing to think about is that a lot of vegans tend to eat whole foods. Of course, this isn't everyone, but for the most part, vegans become a lot more health conscious and they're very aware of the types of foods they're putting in their body. And the more that you focus on whole foods, the more minimal your diet is, because when you think about it, you're eating foods with an ingredient list of 1. Again, you can't get much more minimal than 1 unless you just don't eat anything, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody. So when you focus more on whole foods and eliminate those processed foods, you're taking out so many of those ingredients from your life. And processed foods can have such a long ingredient list, all of those things stuffed in there. And as a minimalist, it's very refreshing to sit down and say, I'm going to have a meal completely made up of 1 ingredient foods, of whole foods. And you can even take it a step further if you're someone who really loves fruit, doing mono meals for breakfast, for example. I love to have a banana mono meal for lunch if I'm on the go, or for breakfast, and it's just such a minimal way to live, to wake up and say, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat a bunch of bananas. I'm eating 1 type of thing, that's my entire meal. It's very simple, it's very easy for my body to digest, and it's easy for me because it removes any of the preparation time, it removes any of my need to decide what to eat, and what combination to put together in my oatmeal or what kind of smoothie to make. It allows me to recover from decision fatigue and just to enjoy a simple meal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this comparison between veganism and minimalism. Like I said, I really believe that the diet itself is very minimal, but it's also that its impact is so minimal. It really is the most sustainable, eco-friendly way of eating that really goes along with the fact that the majority of minimalists are trying to live a life that is far more eco-friendly and sustainable. And in that way, I think vegans and minimalists are really allies in this fight to save our planet. Until next time, guys, bye. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out my last video if you're looking for something to watch. And don't forget, if you want to support me, consider becoming a patron on Patreon.